went to the hearing and was told we wasn't allowed any representation. Bear in mind, I didn't hear it. Like, I hadn't spoke to kick it out before. I had nothing. Went there, got into the hearing. Me and Tim are in separate. We have to go in separate. We get into the room and Emre's in there with 5
representatives.
Yeah, 5.
Hi, I'm Olivia Bazaglo.
And I'm Joleon Lescott.
Welcome back to In the Mixer, brought to you by Sky Bet, where we dive into all the biggest stories and talking points from around the world of football.
We want to hear your thoughts, so get involved and drop us a comment below.
This week, we are joined by Troy Townsend, MBE campaigner, broadcaster, and one of the most influential people in the game. Troy, thank you so much. It's great to have you.
Oh, you said one of the most. I was going to say used to be. Maybe now, not some more. But
You
Andros
are.
is dad.
And Andros is, well, actually, first of all, this is blown
full disclosure.
I don't know how I didn't put 2 and 2 together. First of all, we're just going to have a look at that clip of Andros in Thailand that went viral last week. Let's have a look.
So how long's it been out there?
Since the start of the season.
Oh, okay.
So the same start as the Premier League season.
Kit man's having a nightmare with that kit.
What about the pitch there?
The pitch, to be fair, that's like the Vets pitch I played on.
Nice little step over.
Oh.
Oh! How was he enjoying life over there?
He's loving it.
Yeah?
He's absolutely loving it. Thailand is it's a beautiful place. It's always, I'm going to get the chance to go there, but he's enjoying it for so many other things because he said he's done what he needs to do in football and it's about enjoying and about bringing the children up in a beautiful place. It's funny because, as you said, that clip has gone viral and the week before, they won their first league game of the season. He scored one of those goals.
Yeah, but...
Nothing. Nothing. And from the edge of the box, cutting inside, left foot, very similar to one he scored for Palace. He'd done a little Instagram post, Palace, Burnley, the same goal.
Oh, nice.
No one picked up on it.
No.
But yet that...
Why? Because of the pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how the world works. We are going to look ahead to the weekend's games. The first one being Liverpool against Manchester United. Listen, Troy, right? We do this podcast.
I feel like I'm being told off just then.
There's 3 questions in one. This.
No, it's not. It's not. Basically, we always talk about the weekend's games, and for whatever reason, last week we couldn't. So we haven't had time to talk about Chelsea beating Liverpool. So Man United need to take a leaf out of Chelsea's book, and that's how you play against Liverpool, and that's how you beat them.
No, Man United need to do what they need to do to win the game. They're playing a Liverpool team who obviously 3 defeats in the last 3. Something's going on at that football club. They're not quite connecting, the new players. It's quite obvious and plain. And I think this is a very good... If Man United do not take this opportunity now, they might as well forget it. Yeah. This is the biggest moment for them to try and win.
I don't think they're capable of it, though. And I also don't believe teams like Liverpool, they lose like 3 league games. And Anfield's
could be 3 in a row. It could be 4 in a row.
Yeah, the only problem you've got is
that
they've all gone away on international duty. Yeah. Some have had some good ones, some have not had.
But that's a fact. I think the fact that it's come at a time when you need a break. It probably helped them. You can be distracted by the national team and not have to focus on that and not have to dwell solely on the negative press that would have come around losing 3 and all that stuff. So
I still think Liverpool win.
Yeah.
But
Man United now's the perfect time.
Man United have to be at their very, very best and could still lose.
With Liverpool, do you feel like this run of games, it's been coming? Because when you look back to them at the start of the season, they were winning last minute, not necessarily playing quite well. And it now feels like, not they've been found out a little bit, but it now feels like maybe their results are, this is what maybe should have happened at the start, but for whatever reason, they kept getting last minute winners.
Do you know, I want to bring the levels down here, but I don't think any of us can appreciate what has happened at that football club. Not just the Jota situation, even though that's going to have a massive impact. And I feel I'm looking at a Mo Salah that is not fully there at the moment. What happened in the summer with the celebration and the car and I just think sometimes these things have a bigger impact than any of us fully appreciate. And I think the Jota situation is having that impact at the moment. When they finally get out of that, who knows? Because there's a teammate not there anymore.
That's what I mean, it's not just like we have a sentimental opinion of it and connection to it because it's tragedy, but that's his friend.
I was going to say, it's not even just a teammate, is it?
That's a real friend that you probably spend time with outside of football, and so that isn't something you should just assume hasn't had an impact. Definitely it's going to take a toll, and whether it's on the performances individually or collectively, it's going to be something.
First few games, like you said, that they won with last-minute goals, there's a bit of, we have to do this for, and then it's gone back to...
I think if the results recently were first,
start,
I think we would have been more sentimental to the impact that would have the impact of that, what that's had on the club.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, they've won, so they're obviously all right.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. Yeah.
Of course that. So, I think we need to recognise that.
Obviously, Liverpool on the pitch, you know, we look at them and they've got some amazing players. However, one player that's struggled a little bit since he's come in is Florian Wirtz. Is it far too early to judge a player like that, even though he has come in for money? And like we were talking off air about how when you spend that much money on a player, obviously people are going to be drawn to him and are expecting goals and assists and everything straight away. But like we say, coming over from the Bundesliga is always going to be tough. The Premier League's a different league, it's the hardest league. So do we have to cut him some slack?
I think so. I think you have to cut anybody some slack that has only been here for a couple of months. He'll find his feet, I've no doubt. He's too good a player not to.
Yeah.
I've seen some things where I think to myself, that's the player that they bought. And then you see some things where the game is almost passing him by and you think to yourself, you've got to get with it because it's such an important position and role that he's playing in. But again, listen, he's come into a team that is up and down, emotionally, mentally, but also I think he will add value when push comes to shove, when he finally settles. I don't know what his living arrangements are like. You know what it's like when you join a new club and you've got to sort all that out. So I think he'll be all right, but everyone wants instant impact. It's not going to happen with every player. So the fee might be weighing him down as well, but I think he'll come good.
Yeah, we have actually seen, when you think of a lot of the big money signings in the Premier League, not all of them have lived up to You think of like Jack Grealish when he went to City, not necessarily lived up to expectations. Lukaku, he came for nearly 100 million, hasn't quite lived up to it. Caicedo has now, but he struggled initially. Enzo Fernandez hasn't really lived up to it, I would say. So maybe it does come with that price tag.
Listen, we can't judge him solely on the 6 games, 7 games that he's played in, but should he had an impact on one of them games? And for me, it was the Burnley game. I'm like, if you're an attacking player, forget the fee.
Yeah.
And we need a goal, I shouldn't be taking you off.
Yeah.
You should be the guy that then hopefully creates the opportunity.
Let's quickly just finish on Man United because we spoke about them never having a best. Obviously, Jim Ratcliffe's come out and said, we're going to give Amorim 3 years to hopefully turn this around. I mean...
3 years from now or 3 years from this time?
I need to know. Is 3 years from now even enough? I don't know.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. There's no way, good, bad or indifferent, he's in charge of Man United in 3 years.
No chance.
Have they got more chance of going down in 3 years than they have of winning the Premier League in 3 years, haven't they?
Statistically, yeah.
Listen, they've had a couple of decent results, but performances are not great. You look at that Man United team with no identity. You look at some of the players, again, some of the new signings, although Mbuemo has done well, but the return with goals has not been great. And
Are they talking about new investment as well? Have I seen that?
There has been a lot of talk about new investment with ex-players involved as well, hasn't there?
Is it?
Yeah, apparently.
So he's not been there in 3 years. There's no way a new investor's coming with ex-players because he's going to want their influence and they're going to say, let's keep this guy in charge.
Yeah.
He's a very stubborn manager, isn't he?
Yeah.
You look at him and he's very stubborn towards his way of wanting to play. And the players don't fit the idea.
He's asking players to do things they're not comfortable doing. Under Mancini, I knew I was having to play for my position every week. And you can't settle. You playing not to make a mistake is different between playing with the freedom of go and express yourself. Yeah. And that's sometimes what players want to hear. It's not like, I can do whatever I want, wherever I want. It's sometimes knowing that I'm not going to be ridiculed. If I'm trying to do what you're asking, it doesn't work, and now it's my fault. It's kind of like, it needs to be a balance there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He doesn't like change, does he, Ruben Amorim? It's his
Unless
way, his way or the highway. Yeah. We got the Joleon Lescott derby this week.
Oh wow!
How exciting! Manchester City against Everton. We need Manchester City, I think.
Yes, for the league.
For the league, I think we need Manchester. And actually, do you think Troy at the moment they're just going about their business? They're only 3 points behind Arsenal. No one's talking about them.
And imagine if they had won that game at the Emirates as well, which, to be fair...
That's a good point.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Mate. But I felt they were going to hold on, But they're a different Man City. You know that more than me. They're approaching games differently, but the one common denominator is they have that guy up front, and he's a phenomenon. He will... Some of the goals that he scored recently, He's at the peak. He's at the peak of his powers at the moment.
Do you think at 20...
When I say at the peak, at the moment, and then there's another peak. Yeah.
The finish, I was at the Monaco game. Oh my God, it was a beautiful little deft touch over the...
Unbelievable.
But there's not a
And
finish
then the proper number 9 one against Brentford. Even he said after the game, he was like,
his favourite
that is
goal.
Is it? That's his favourite goal.
Bully, like, because him and
Proper
Sepp Vandenberg were going at each other all game, weren't
But I
they?
laud the Arsenal goal.
Yeah.
I laud it because he was in his own half.
That's similar to United.
And then gone boom. And you looked at the Arsenal centre-backs who get a lot of credit.
Yeah.
They're not catching him.
No.
They're not catching him. He's on his weaker side, apparently. Bam. It's an unbelievable strike. And there's nothing that guy can't achieve if he wants to. And he'll keep them in the title race while they knit the rest of the team around 100%. him,
I actually think, like, statistically, we were saying this a couple of weeks ago, I think statistically it's still, like,
his
his worst start to a season.
I mean, how can you say that?
It's ridiculous.
How can you say that?
Absolutely. This is, like, for me, I feel like it's the best I've seen him play.
Yeah.
Everton, though, Troy, they've been pretty good. I mean, we always thought they would be pretty solid under David Moyes, but they can, we've seen teams get at City this season. They're definitely...
No Jack.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no Jack.
No Jack.
I forgot about that. Oh God, that's a massive impact,
It's at the Etihad,
isn't
yes?
it? Yeah. It's at the Etihad.
No Jack.
No Jack.
But David Moyes will set up well.
Okay, so no Jack at the Etihad, which is obviously big for Everton.
Massive.
So do you think that'll affect? Because I actually was like, well, actually, looking at that Everton team, they can cause City problems, but now perhaps
He's created more chances.
He's created more chances than anyone else.
Him and
he draws players as well, doesn't he? So you don't go one-on-one with Jack. You ask for help, and you ask for help.
Yeah.
And I just think that would be a big miss in the way that Moisey would want to.
Just getting up the pitch and
exactly.
ball retention
Keeping
and stuff
the
like
ball,
that. So,
but if they take the lead.
That defence is tough to break down. And well, Everton were the team that ended Palace's unbeaten run before the international break, but they're still flying, Palace, and they've still had a brilliant start to the season. And we were talking about this, trying to keep hold of Adam Wharton and Oliver Glasner is going to be tough. But I actually think this year, if they go on a good league run, great. But I think they could win the Conference League. I really think they could.
It's a lot of games. It's a small squad. I like what they're doing at the moment. You have to like what they're doing. He's taken them to a level that Palace have never had before and never seen before. But I just worry as the season goes on and goes on and goes on. Even Mateta's playing for his country, which is a magnificent thing. There's another 2 games, scored his goal. But I just worry that they haven't got
interest in January then, and all of a sudden
there was already interest.
Yeah.
So I think
now he's a French international. Like now, teams are.
I would love to see them all stay for this season.
I think they will. Do you know? Because I can't imagine that, like in January, if they're, I think they'll get out of their Conference League phase easily. But
it's still a business, remember?
If you could get to think about
X amount of
so
money
you think
for
like Mark Gay will go in Jan for like 10 mil?
I think Mark
I don't think it'd be 10 because I think the club can recognise the 10 million is not that much of a difference. Like if it's 20, 25.
He was only going for like 40, wasn't he? He was only
35,
up for
40.
40, so what?
But that's a lot of money.
For Palace, yes, yeah.
Like, you got to think, I think their record signing is only 30 million.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and that was Benteke.
Yeah.
So, if they can get 25 for Mark with 6 months left, business,
I think they've always insisted on wanting to get someone in, but it'll be a big loss.
Because they're losing a captain.
It's a
they're losing
leader,
a lot in Mark Gay. They're losing a lot.
It's tough.
Now we want you to join the conversation as well. Are Liverpool going to lose 3 in a row in the Liga? Are they going to bounce back against Manchester United? Are United right to stick with Ruben Amorim, and let us know how your team has been doing at the start of this season?
And if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Right, let's move on because obviously, Troy, it is Black History Month. So it feels like the right time to talk about where the game stands when it comes to equality and tackling discrimination. Obviously, you spent time leading that through Kick It Out. Just first of all, I wanted to touch on an incident that happened with the Exeter City versus Reading game. Now, I think this is where the problem still is so massive because I didn't hear about this. I consume football on my phone, I watch a lot of it, and I didn't hear about it. Why didn't...
Because football doesn't care about it enough. It's Exeter versus Reading. By the way, it was the second game on the spin that Exeter have had an incident like that. But football doesn't care enough. It's down the leagues, it will go away. No real care about the player, the victim. No care about people that may have heard the language in and around, So if it was a Premier League game, you would hear about it. But down the leagues, the EFL, the Premier League, the PFA, the FA, they have so much responsibility in this place. in this space, and I think they've let far too many people down in this space. Far too many.
Is that part of the reason why you're not involved, or?
Put it this way, it's draining. So to do the fight, to empower players, to challenge the environment, to tell people that can you at least go and support the player that has been the victim, the parents, the family, that it's tiring.
Yeah,
and I don't think I should have to convince people to do that as a job. You know, I'm an individual that's working for a very small organisation, but it was on me. And it became tiring mentally, physically, to keep, you know, raising my head to support the likes of people like you. Do you know what I mean, Joleon? Every so often, and then not getting results for them.
And then people like me looking at you saying, what's he doing?
Yeah.
What's he doing? He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
But it's the organisation, the policies in place.
I'll take that on board. You know why? Because I used to stick my neck out for players. You tell me, no one is going to fabricate racism.
No.
No one is going to say, oh, you didn't call me, but you know what? I want to get this player in trouble.
No one.
We were saying this before. I was like, of all the alleged incidences, I don't know any player that's been convicted in the history of the game. I couldn't tell you the last player that's been convicted of racism.
Casillas. So, Jonathan Lescott, I got absolutely
Lescott, yeah.
slaughtered for this.
Yeah, and I know Jonathan. Like,
You know
I was
Jonathan.
at West Brom,
Right.
Good kid.
Yeah, I got slaughtered for this, but more importantly, they found Casillas guilty of using the language. Casillas got 4 6-match ban because it's now minimum 6 matches. Served that in 2 weeks because, as you know, you play Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, 2.5 weeks. The manager was, what's his name? Argentinian guy.
Yeah.
He gave him the armband when he came back.
Yeah.
He wasn't the captain. He wasn't the captain.
He wasn't the captain.
He wasn't the captain. So what that says to me is that we as a club have got your back.
Yeah.
Take the armband for this game.
But there needs to be some punishment.
There needs to be
something.
Stronger punishment, and that's
The
why.
policies in place aren't like.
they're not
like I said,
great.
I know Jonathan Lescott.
Yeah.
I remember speaking to him at the time, and he was upset. Just the simple fact of when he went to the hearing, they sat him next to the goalie.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What other
Joleon, I
form
can
of
tell
abuse
you some
can
practices.
a victim has to sit next to
Sit next to the perpetrator.
literally sit next to
With the language used as well.
I couldn't believe it. I said, nah, no way. There's no way.
Don't be surprised.
How old was he? 19, 20
Yeah,
at the time? He was
19,
young.
20.
Jonathan
He was a young,
man.
he was a young player.
Did he get any care after? Was it?
Again, this is the policy. This is why my issue with Kick It Out was I always had an issue. I think it was 2007. There's an incident with Newcastle, Everton, and Emre, the Turkish player, said something to Joseph Yobo, and me and Tim Howard heard it. Went to the hearing and was told we wasn't allowed any representation. Bear in mind, I didn't hear it. Like, I hadn't spoke to Kick It Out before. I had nothing. Was told I wasn't allowed any representation. Went there, got into the hearing. Me and Tim are in separate. We have to go in separate. We get into the room and Emre's in there with five
representatives.
Yeah, 5. I was like, huh? Oh, I can't even bring in a club representative. And he's got lawyers and all that. They said, we're going to take it all day. And I remember this clear as day. We're going to take all day to deliberate on the answer. Cool, no problem. It was in Leeds. I live in Cheshire. I hadn't even got home. And he'd been cleared. I hadn't even got home. I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
See, now,
And I'm
I
just
joined.
blaming the policies.
Yeah. I joined 2011. Went straight into the Terry Ferdinand.
That was when my one got glorified. The fact that I didn't wear it.
I thought so.
4 years before.
when you didn't wear the Kick It Out?
Yeah, but before, I ain't been wearing it
You
4 years
hadn't been wearing
before.
it previously.
But because of that,
my name wasn't Ferdinand. And my stature wasn't Ferdinand level. No one knows.
And that's
really
what made
paying
me
attention.
think that your incident was 2011.
Yeah.
Just because your name started to reverberate. And I was like,
I never
hold on a minute.
So from the rest of my career,
You didn't wear them for the rest of your career?
I didn't wear it, and I didn't. Do you know the pictures at the start of the season? I wouldn't go in the pictures. If ever show racism, the red card would come, I would turn the card around. I would face the other way, so they could never display any pictures that I'm in because I wasn't looking at the camera.
Yeah.
I said, you're not going to use me to
And by the
this.
way, that is a choice that you've made because of the situation, how it, the eventual outcome. There would be no challenge from me on that if I was in the organisation again, because ultimately you've had the experience. the amount of players that have said to me, like, the experience is absolute crap of going through the process, to which then I find out what the process is and actually inform you beforehand. This is what to expect. This is how it's going to run. And by the way, this might take 6 months. So one of my things that I got in place was that they had to have diverse boards. So they had 3-person panel.
I was on the Premier League, still on it. But again, it took 2 years to get someone to be elected on the board. I'm just like, 2 years.
Why do you think, Troy, going back to like big organisations making decisions, why do you think it takes them so long? Why do you think we're still waiting 6? Like, what could possibly be the reason for that?
I get legal. I get, legal.
What's your opinion, though? I don't think, none of us are going to know the reason.
Yeah.
Why do you think, though?
I've got to be honest, and remember, I've scoured this game up and down, right the way through. They don't like the conversation. The conversation 100%. Is very, very hard to handle. Remember, at the top of this game, whether it's Premier, all of them organisations, there's no representation. There's no people that look, sound and feel like those that are being victimised. So the urgency is not there.
Yeah, but I also believe that is an excuse, because there's so many things that don't happen to us as adults and as men, say for abuse that a woman may receive, but we're able to relate to that. We find a way to relate to that, but racism, we use the fact that we aren't a person of colour, or I can't relate to that.
Yeah, but see, when you live with a privilege,
it's mad.
And you don't want to undertake the feeling that we might have had during those periods of time, it's not really on your radar. I always used to say, UEFA used to set some punishments. So I think it was England, Bulgaria or England, Montenegro, and they used to set punishments. And the punishment for racism, when they put it out on their list, is down the bottom. But guess what it's behind? Pyrotechnics, people standing in stairwells. You're prepared to shout about those, and then you say, there was, 5, 6 down the line. And I used to say, so every time I did an interview, I used to say, they don't care.
No.
You can't care.
The rules state that they don't care enough when, I think it's 3 strikes. I think a player has to receive 3 incidences in one game before you could walk off.
So that Bulgarian game, Joleon, when Tyrone Mings said, did you hear that?
Yeah.
The process, they followed the process, Stop the game, have a conversation, hope it doesn't happen again, stadium announcement. Second time, pull the players off. They didn't pull the players off. Third time, Greg Clark, who was the FA chairman, said, oh, yes, it continued to happen in the second half. So why didn't you pull the players off then?
It's insane.
But we were winning 4-0, 5-0. Who cares?
Besides the point, completely besides the point.
But if I pull your shirt twice, I'm off.
You're getting,
Yeah, but my other pet hate is people saying it's a societal problem. We know it's a societal problem. I get it. But football has an obligation to deal with its problem that it has in its space. And football turns away and doesn't look at it time and time again. I could fill this room and more with players who, say to me, Troy, thanks, but because you haven't got me an outcome. And I feel, and this is why in the end it became such a draining job, because I want to get you an outcome, but the system controls that space. And I can't fight the system. I've tried a lot. There's a lot of people that don't like me in the industry, and I don't care because I'm doing it on behalf of so many. And by the way, Premier League, right the way through to grassroots, right through the academy system. And I think to myself, you're prepared and allowing this to happen. Young players who we don't even know are going to make it, but they're going to walk away from the game and feel like the game served them no purpose.
Oh, yeah. I was telling them about a story about Mark McCannon that people don't even know about. Like, won a case against his club and never played a game. Couldn't get a team and was proven that he was right in what he was saying, and they literally segregated him from the dressing room and like horrendous, but couldn't get a team after because he probably just accused them of being racist.
Because of that. And there's more. Honestly, I could fill the whole segment with more and more stories. But that was, answering your question, that was the reason why it's time to step away. It's time to obviously give myself a little bit of peace of mind. There's no regrets, but there's no regrets. There's not one element of, The thing that I like within all this mess is the control that players have now.
Yeah.
Social media wasn't a big thing at that time, wasn't it? So players now just call it out on social. No more waiting for the press guy in the football club.
To tell them,
don't do nothing, we'll make a statement. Yeah. I don't need you no more.
My
I will pop things into my stories and the millions will hear it from me first. And that's the only thing that I think players, I'd like to think that I've been part of that process of empowering players to tell their own story, rather than wait to tell the story. You know, I've got to go through a process. Yes, let's use the term alleged. That means possibly didn't happen, or that's what we're going to say. Players are now just going, bam, there it is. Here you go. Deal with it how you want to deal with it.
Troy, you obviously spent, over a decade working with Kick It Out. And obviously there'll be so many moments you're so proud of. But when did you feel like was the moment that it was time to move on?
I would imagine that I knew in my own head that 2 years previous, I'm going to have to think about this. Do you know what I mean? Can I keep... Because remember, racism hasn't gone away. So the stories are still there and I'm the one taking it on board. And then I felt there was a point when people weren't listening anymore as well. So, here he goes again. Do you know what I mean? Here he goes again. And I thought, you know what? Why am I continuing? You can see the dents in my head, can't you? Why am I continuing to bang my head against a brick wall when the industry is just saying... So I left when I left. I think it was the right and appropriate time. But like I said, the thought process was probably over a couple of years. But to get to the stage when I did leave, and it was just right, and it was important for me to, for once, take time to look after myself rather than, and I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, but I'm looking after everybody. Yeah. But I've got no one to look after me. And in some of those real important moments, if you don't mind, Anton Ferdinand's documentary, Football, Racism, Me. The first time we connected, and he went, Troy, do you mind having a conversation? He said, me, Rio, we don't really like Kick It Out, but we want to talk to you. So he came and spoke to me. We haven't stopped being friends since. I understood his point. He understood my point. And out of that documentary, I thought to myself, you know what? This shows that we can make good out of a really, really difficult situation. Anton told his story. That programme went out at 9 o'clock. It's one of the ones that went out at 9 o'clock. I didn't watch it at 9 o'clock. I thought, let it all die, let it all go and whatever. The FA, who are normally asleep at 6:30, they put out a statement at 10 o'clock that night. My phone starts going all over the place. So, the documentary was that good? No. The FA made a statement. The top paragraph was about Anton, who is the only person they should care about, and the failings in that situation. 3 paragraphs on Troy Townsend, and the fact that I gave inaccurate information, don't know where I've got my information from. Why would I lie about a situation or situations? And so they tried to discredit me. And again, this is where I love social media, because people were saying, you're discrediting Troy Townsend. How about looking at yourselves? How about this and how about that? And I took no credit from that, but it kind of gave me a sense of, I had to take 2 weeks off. I took 2 weeks off because the enormity of them, and if I really wanted to, I could have made it legal, but the enormity of them putting a black mark on my name had such a massive impact. And internally, unfortunately, there was no more Lord Herman Ousley. I didn't get backed. And from that point...
You didn't get back from the campaign that you was involved in?
Your face.
You see that laugh?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Right.
I work for the company.
I know...
That's supposed to be do something.
Yeah, I know what you're... You know what I mean? I feel and understand your situation because I felt it myself.
Do you believe there's going to be real change?
No. I don't think I will be alive when there's change. No chance.
I endorse that.
No chance.
My hope is that we look after the people that need looking after. So anyone that's a victim of abuse.
Just start with that.
Just start with that as a basis.
There's not even that.
There's not even that. But then the game becomes more reflective of what it looks like on the field of play. There's no struggles on the field of play in regards to representation. There isn't a women's game. But there's no struggles on the field of play in the men's game. But we've got 2 black managers out of 92. don't tell me, and this argument that black players, ex-players, don't take their coaching badges. That's why we've got very minimal board members. We've got people at the top that look like each other that are making all the decisions that impact on everybody else. I just want to see a fairer system. And if we can get to a fairer system, then football actually might take on its responsibilities. Because at the moment, and for the time that I was in, no, I don't think it did.
Yeah, I generally don't believe I will see a difference. I just hope that down the line, family members that are still involved in the game see one.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Right, we have some big news in the Super 6 jackpot. If the $1 million prize pot isn't won this weekend, the player at the top of the leaderboard, Joleon, after round 9, will scoop the lot. That's unreal.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Can you imagine if you're like up there?
The nerve. I'm nervous for that person. I don't even know who it is.
That is unless someone nails all 6 of the scores in the next 2 rounds. Which
But no one's done that.
No one has done that. So it is unlikely. Now, week 7 was an exciting round, seeing 67 players head into Brentford against Manchester City with 5 correct scorelines. They had 5 correct scores going into the last game.
Yeah, nah.
So it was after, Haaland scored early. I'm sure they would probably have been expecting Haaland to score again.
What was the scoreline they predicted?
So they predicted 2-0 Manchester City.
Nah.
So they were waiting for that goal from Erling Haaland, who's got a ridiculous amount of goals this season, and he couldn't get another one.
Oh, we're blaming Erling.
Yeah, we are blaming Erling. Erling couldn't step up in the moment when 67 people needed you. But no one took the prize pot home, which means it is still up for grabs.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm not sure I would want to win with 67 people though. I don't want...
You wouldn't want an extra 15 grand?
Yeah.
That's how quick that maths was, by the way.
Hell yeah.
So quick. Maths. 1 million divided by 67 was so good.
Well, before we get into that, let's talk about last week's league and the results and
what happened,
where we are.
Do you want to do this bit?
I told you before, I'm a good winner.
You weren't a good winner before we came on air,
Yeah, the cameras are rolling now, so I've got to be diplomatic.
So you actually got...
Yeah.
You got 11 points.
It's not bad.
That's actually really good. That's right. To be fair...
So I'm the first one to beat the fan.
I think you are actually. We've been rubbish this season.
Why is it we all of a sudden, when he was above me, it was you, and now you're doing rubbish.
We're a team, Joleon, we're a team. Robson, our Southampton fan, he got 9 as well. He correctly predicted Arsenal 2, West Ham 0. I can't believe I didn't back my own team. No matter who Chelsea are playing this season now...
You're going to back them every week. You think they're going to win every game?
We beat Liverpool, if anyone didn't know. But I didn't do that. But I did predict Newcastle to beat Forest 2-0, so I got that score spot on. And you correctly predicted your old... some turnaround as well.
It was. I told you, I think I said I'm going to go with my heart and not my head.
Yeah. Right, the current leaderboard then for our fans. Alfie, the Spurs fan, we like Alfie, don't we?
Yeah.
He's top on 13. Robson's Southampton fan's on 9. Kingsley, the Coventry fan, on 7. Anthony, the Villa fan, is on 6. And so is Sean, our Everton fan. So let's do a combined leaderboard, shall we?
Yeah, no problem.
So the fans, they're still beating us by quite some way.
No, Liv, stop saying us.
Okay, they're beating you, but they're beating
us individually.
Yeah, okay, they're beating us individually as well. So the fans from 41, you're on 34, and I'm on 32.
That's one result for me, that.
Yeah, no, it is, yeah. Well played.
I told you, since we spoke about concentrating on these predictions, I've gone clear.
Yeah. Right, we have Arsenal fan Rob here this week.
Rob the Gooner, let's see his predictions.
Hi, I'm Rob and I'm representing the mighty Arsenal this week. Unlike my team and Mikel Arteta, I'm hoping that I'm not going to come perennially second and I might actually win this one. First game up this week is Man City versus Everton. A bit of a Joleon Lescott derby there. Wonder who you're going for, Joleon. I mean, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Everton because I played at Goodison Park, which was a brilliant memory. But despite the fact that David Moyes has got them beating a bit better than last season, I still think Man City are going to have too much for them. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Man City.
The Lescott derby,
this is known as. It is the Lescott derby, so that means he's going to sit on the fence and pick a draw.
No. No. When it's teams that I've played for, I always go for the team I feel needs the points the most. So even if it was like Wolves City and Wolves trying to avoid relegation, yeah. So
City here.
Yeah, but I'm going to go 2-0 Man City.
You've just nicked my scoreline. And for the sake of the game, I'm going to go different because it's pointless me just...
We don't have to go different every one. If you feel that, I'm not sure all our scores are going to be the same.
Nah, I'll go like half a mix of Rob, the Arsenal fan, and half the mix of you.
2-1.
I'm going to go Man City 2, Everton 1.
Second game is Brighton-Newcastle. I think this one's quite a hard one to call. Walter Marder's made a good start at Newcastle. I do think that 3 games at St James's Park, 3 goals, is a bit of an over-exaggeration. I mean, one was a penalty. Good penalty, but let's not get ahead of ourselves too soon. I think Brighton, surprising everyone by keeping in there. I think a draw is probably likely in this one. I'm going to go 2-2.
I think it's so hard to call.
Yeah.
With Brighton, you just never know what you're going to expect.
Newcastle.
And with especially away from home. At home, you bet on Newcastle a lot of the time to win those games. This is really hard. I'm going to go same as Rob, but not the same. I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah, this could be anything. I think there's more. I think there's more than 2 goals in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a big score. I'm going to go 3-2 Newcastle.
Oh.
If I get that right, game's over. I'm winning.
Palace versus Bournemouth. I got some family who are big Palace fans, and they've been really happy over the last few seasons with their obviously FA Cup win and then winning the Charity Shield at the beginning of this season. Glasner's doing a great job. The fact he's in signing a new contract hopefully is only good news for Palace. Bournemouth, on the other hand, I mean, who hasn't got Semenyo in their fantasy football team? He's had an amazing start to the season. Iraola is fantastic. Again, I think this one's going to be really close to call, but I've got to go with my heart here and say 2-1 to Palace.
Again, these games are really hard to call this week. Both of them have had unbelievable starts to the season.
Iraola's done exceptionally well. When he joined, I thought they're struggling them. They could potentially go down, but they've kicked on, haven't they?
Yeah, and Semenyo's the best left winger in the league right now.
Semenyo's top.
Semenyo this season has been
even last season though.
For the last season and a half he's been wicked. This is so hard to call. I'm gonna sit on the fence again because I just don't think there's much between them.
Go on then.
I'm going to go 1-1 again. I'm going to go Palace 1, Bournemouth 1.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be particularly high scoring.
Yeah.
Palace aren't a particularly high scoring team. I feel like when they win, it's just like by the odd goal.
Oh, I'm going to go 2-1 Bournemouth.
Oh, he's got
I was going to go 1-1,
win.
but I didn't want to copy a result and stuff. So, I'll go 2-1.
My boys next, Fulham versus Arsenal, London derby. Obviously, we're going to have too much for them. I mean, I respect Fulham. I think Marco Silva's a very good manager. And, they've got some good young players coming through as well. But ultimately, we have to be winning those kind of games if we're going to be aiming for the top. And I think we will. We'll have too much for them. I think 2-0 to the Arsenal.
Yeah, I like that scoreline. It could be more.
Could be more. Fulham are good at home, though.
They are good, but Arsenal are on it. And I don't like these aren't banana skins as much now for Arsenal, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm gonna say 2-0 Arsenal.
Oh, I'm so torn between my head and my heart here.
Say, what do you want to happen? What you think is gonna happen?
Exactly. And for the sake of the game, I want to go for an Arsenal win, but I just don't. I really don't.
Then, bet against them, and I'll get more points.
I'm going to go Fulham at Craven Cottage. Tough to beat. I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh my God, the last 3 games have been 1-1. Let's hope your scores don't come in.
What a boring weekend.
Dead weekend of football.
Spurs, Aston Villa. Difficult one, this one. Aston Villa obviously had a bad start to the season, but I've got faith that Emery will turn it around. Rodgers and Watkins did well on international duty, so that's got to be in their favour. Spurs started well. Frank's a brilliant manager, but Richarlison's goals have dried up. They're winning things 1-0, and there's not too many goals in it, so I can't see too many goals in this one. But I think as an England fan, I've got to think that hopefully those boys for Villa are going to keep going with their form. I'm going to say 2-1 to Aston Villa.
I feel like I'm starting to hate Arsenal more than Spurs. Because I don't want to bet on a Spurs win, but I actually do think they're going to win this.
Yeah, but Thomas Frank, I think you like him more as well.
I really like Thomas Frank. I think he's a brilliant manager. He's a nice, paddle friends. Paddle friends. Shut up, you can talk, mate. Again, Spurs only really just got over the line against Leeds, and they shouldn't have. That should have been if Leeds could have finished their chances.
Yeah, but but they battered City as well. So
yeah, I'm going to go and the thing is, even though Rodgers and Watkins got injured, I think on international duty, he had to leave the camp early, Rodgers just hasn't found that form for whatever reason this season for Villa. Been good for England, but I think Kudus has been brilliant. I think despite Richarlison's goals drying up, he's been the bright spark for Spurs. So I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs.
I like it. That's a very educated prediction. I'm going to go Spurs 1-0.
big one in terms of Liverpool versus United. I know that Liverpool haven't had the best of results recently. You know, they'll be disappointed with their last couple of games. United come off a win against Sunderland. Let's not get too over-exaggerating about that. I just don't have faith in United at the minute to win games. You know, they're doing a bit better, but Amorim's tactics. Ratcliffe said he's going to give him 3 years. I think he's probably going to need 3 years to turn this around. I can only see a Liverpool win. I think Wirtz might start firing soon. Let's hope so anyway. I'm going to go for 3-0 to Liverpool. That's it from me. Come on, you Gunners!
Just one question, Rob. Why would you want Florian Wirtz to start scoring? It's questionable.
Yeah, I think he's talking from a long-term Arsenal fan. Like, Arsenal fans hate United.
I know they hate United, but
he's thinking about Liverpool, yeah.
Going with Liverpool for the title. Like, surely you want Florian Wirtz to carry on the way he's been playing.
I think that was more his heart talking about United than the realisation of you need them to lose. You need United to win.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen.
Nah,
I've got
Liverpool ain't losing 3 in a row.
I've got next to zero faith in Man United. If it was Old Trafford, no, even if it was Old Trafford.
Yeah, I just don't see Liverpool losing again. So I'm going to...
Man United need to take a leaf out of Chelsea's book.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Let it go. Let it go.
I can't.
Go on.
Can't.
What's your score?
I'm going to go... I think it's going to be pretty comfortable for Liverpool. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool.
Oh, 3-1. That was my score line. I'll go 2-0 Liverpool. And that's a wrap on the Super 6 Fan League.
Super 6 is back after the international break with just 2 rounds remaining before the £1 million prize is given away to the season leader. That's if someone doesn't predict all 6 scores before them. To play yourself, download the Super 6 app or head to the website and predict 6 results. You can join our all-out football league with code S6-AOF to go head-to-head with other fans of the show.
Will you be the Super 6 £1 million jackpot winner?
18 plus, T's and C's apply. Troy, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you. That is all from us this week on In the Mixer, brought to you by Sky Bet. Thank you so much for joining us, Troy, of course, and to you, Joleon, and to everyone watching and listening as well.
Thank you, Troy. Really
Pleasure.
appreciate you coming on and being so open and honest. So thank you for taking the time. And if you've enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, you can also listen on Apple and Spotify if you're on the move.
See you next time.